you staying balanced through all of this? Keeping front and center family commitment and the things that you still want to achieve in the future for yourself, and for Jody, for your wife.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's funny, isn't it? When you're tied up in your professional life day in, day out, working, and you're still in it, working those big hours, and your skills and your energies are directed at the clients and at doing all the things you have to do to run that business. When you step away, and I like to say I created a glide path for myself into retirement with different things. You can sort of say, well, you're going to pursue your interests, passionate about golf, fishing. I love those things. But there are more challenges and opportunities out there that are actually tougher to master than the things that were easy for you or for me when I was at work. And one of those things is now there was more time and people absorbed that time, which I'm proud of. So think about it. People calling, asking, can you help my son or daughter make a connection here or there? I think I've done more resumes and more, helping people in that way. How can people calling with specific business problems and those kinds of things, just personally? Well, guess what? I had to think about how I needed to be different. I was outside of my comfort zone, if you will, or my areas of strength. Had to learn how to really, really listen to what the problem is, what the opportunity is, and think less about myself. I mean, when we're trying to advance our careers, we're still thinking a lot about ourselves and our families. Let's face it, right? Because you have goals. Well, now my goals felt pretty well met. So what am I trying to do for this person, for my kids, for my wife? Thinking about yourself less is very difficult if you're kind of in an ego-driven world. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I read a good definition of humility, and I thought it really is telling. And it said something like this: humility is not thinking less about yourself. It's thinking about yourself less.
Mm.
Right? Or less often, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People think humility is, you're giving up on yourself. No, you just think about yourself less.
Yeah, it's
So
almost like
taking
a
that
pause.
out.
It's a pause at the end of that. Less.
Yeah. So you think about that, and it's called, selflessness is kind of where that comes from. So anyway, that's a big thing. Putting yourself, being less judgmental. I mean, there are a lot of things that I find were a waste of energy. Being judgmental, worrying about what happened. We read a lot about these things. How we react to situations is really important. So I think I've tried to spend more time, and I do some reading on it, and I try to advance myself in those areas. And I find that I'm more helpful to people that need my help or ask for my help. I don't know if they need it, but they ask for my help, by developing those skills.